with another TDFi MD-11 flight. We're here on the Heart stand here in Los Angeles. We're going to be doing a flight to Memphis. We can go ahead and hop in this thing and get it fired up. Here you can see the cockpit is cold and dark, so we can go ahead and hop in the seat and get this thing going. So first thing we would do in real life is we would check the logbooks, make sure there aren't any discrepancies, check all the circuit breakers, make sure those that need to be popped are popped and collared, and make sure the rest that are supposed to be in are in. Fire handles are up and flush, gear handle is down, flap slats are retracted, spoilers are retracted and disarmed. Fuel cutoff switches are cut off. Weather radar is off. Transponder is on standby. Parking brake is set. And we can go ahead and apply some power to this aircraft. We do have ground power waiting for us, so what we can do is we can turn the battery on and accept the external power.
Autopilot.
And we can arm the emergency lights, and we can do the emergency light test. So here with the enunciations we should see that that test has passed. There it is, emergency light test passed, so we can let go of that switch. We can do an enunciator light test.
Overspeed.
Check all the lights.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
So far
Overspeed.
looking good.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
It's almost done.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
These two ident buttons don't light up.
Overspeed.
So we can let go and we can test them ourselves if you want to. And we can go ahead and do a fire test.
Engine 1, fire. Engine 2, fire. Engine 3, fire.
Alright, that passed. You can select the IRS is on because they do take about 10 minutes to align. And now I'll automatically do the cargo fire test. Let's see. Should we fire up the APU? It's 70 degrees in here. It's not too bad, but it's never a bad thing to get some airflow. And we'll need the APU here when we're done setting things up and ready for push here in about 20 minutes. So we can fire up the APU. That's fine. So we're flying from Los Angeles to Memphis. I have my SimBrief dispatch release here, which we'll be referencing when we're setting up the box. But for now, we can actually do our setup flow. So IRSs are aligned. We can test CVR. These are dark. Cargo temp is good like that. Engine ignition is off. All these guarded switches are guarded and depressed. All the systems are in auto. You can go ahead and do the hydraulic test. In real life, you would coordinate with ground crew to make sure it's safe to do the hydraulic test. We'll say we've done that. Emergency power can arm, and you can actually turn the APU bleed on, which will turn on the packs. And I can get rid of external power. We're on APU power now. Fuel panel is in auto quality test. Checks out. Nav lights on. Smoking on. Most of the lights look good. Flap limit auto. Elevator fuel auto. Cabin pressure system is auto. Any ice panel is dark. That's fine. Fuel used reset. And the GPWS test, we have to wait until the IRS is finished aligning, and then we can do that test. So we'll wait for that. The trims are centered, and we can come down here to the FMS, and it's an MD-11 freighter, CF6 engines. These numbers here match on this side, and the database 2507 on both sides, and it's current. We can initialize the FMS, so we're going from KLAX, Los Angeles International, to Memphis. And we can hit initialize IRS. Source mode 1, all dark here, and then in real life we would test our oxygen, but that's not simulated here, so let's say we've done that. We can go through our system pages, make sure everything here looks normal. Let's go ahead and set our fuel. How much fuel do we need? Let's see. 60,000 pounds. Alright, we'll set that later, see if it works. I don't know why it's acting up. Draw a page. It finished doing its test. If something went wrong, it would have told us, so it must have passed. Electrical page, you can see we're on AP power, air. It's a comfortable 69 degrees in the cabin and in the cockpit, so that's good. Fuel panel or fuel snap page looks fine. Configuration, you can see the hydraulics are pressurized. Tires look good. That's fine. Cool. I'll leave this on the. I guess I'll just leave it on that page for now. Alright, we can start programming our FMS or FMC, whatever you want to call it. So I'll bring my release up here. So we are FedEx 815, and we are cruising at 310, no step climbs. That's awfully low, but that's what the briefing wants against. But we can always go higher later, I guess. And it'll be a final. It's FDX. That's better. We have an alternate BNA. I believe that's Nashville, if I remember correctly. BNA. And we have a cost index of 186. That's awfully high. Alright, we can enter our flight plan, which will be right here. We can enter the departure, so it will be the DOTS 2 with the clean transition off of runway 25 left. That looks good. You can insert that. Alright, after CLE, we have PKE. What is that, Pike or something? I don't remember. PKE, and then we have direct to DRK. RK. And then, let's see. This is how you enter it. This one. And then for the arrival, I guess that's the barbecue 3, BR, BBQ. I'll just call it the barbecue 3 arrival. Star, barbecue 3 with the, I think that's Razor vac VOR, I don't remember. And then it'll be 1-8 right for the ILS. What transition here? Let me pull this up on my iPad real quick, just to see quickly where to load it from. Yeah, Dawson looks fine. That's straight in. Can insert that. We can close this discontinuity. Fairly simple. There we go. Just bring that up. All right. It's a flight plan entered. We can go to the, let's see if it'll let us set, nope, guess not. Alright, I guess we can manually do it. Payload is well, we'll just call it 179,000 pounds. 17, actually no, I'll put in 178,648. I'll put in that exact number. 178,648, and the fuel is actually 89,000. Yeah, I was gonna say 60,000 pounds awfully low. The block fuel is 89,222. We'll just call it 90,000 pounds. And we'll set that. That gives us a gross weight of, can't be right, is it? There we go. I guess it did it. About 30 in each tank equals to about 90, so that's fine. Let's see, fuel. So yeah, we got the fuel. Alright, we look good now. Alright, we can go back to that FMS. Alright, fuel, that looks good. Except that weight. The release says 529.5, 529.7, that's fine. Can accept these CGs. And we can go to the takeoff page. We can also have GSX start boarding us.
Boarding requested. Do you want to board crew?
We'll start moving some cargo, I guess. Performance. If it lets me click it. Oh yeah, here's our block. Right. Ah, there we go, finally. This EFB is kind of clunky. 25 left. We can get the weather. 27. Nope, that's not the frequency. 35, 65.
Los Angeles Airport information, Quebec 0000 Zulu. Wind 238 at 11. Visibility 10. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,800 feet. Temperature 21. Dew point 10. Altimeter 29.94. ILS runway 24 right, ILS runway 24 left, ILS runway 25 right, and ILS runway 25 left in use. Landing and departing runway.
Alright. That's good enough for me. Get information, make sure it was 27. No, you said 238, which was random. 278, 294. Yeah, that checks out. Our takeoff weights. 529.2, and the release says 529.5, so that checks out. Takes into consideration. Can I click? Yeah, that works out. Alright. We'll do TO1. We'll do flaps 15 takeoff, then we'll do PAX on takeoff. Right, there's our speed. So we got 158 for the V1, 162 rotation, 173 V2, and PAX on flaps 15. So we can put that into the box. So flaps 15, PAX on, and it was 158, 162. 73. Alright. We don't need an inner slope or OAT because that was taken into consideration here when making the speed, so that's fine. Thrust rating, TO1, 103.1 on the N1. See that reflected here, so that's fine. Alright. Sweet, I'll leave on the flight plan page. It's going to be left on this page. And we can go ahead. The IRSs are done aligning, so we can run these tests.
Glide slope. Pull up. Terrain,
Once that's
terrain.
finished up, we'll
Pull
run a
up.
checklist and
Pull
then
up. Sink rate. Pull
get on
up.
out here.
Terrain. Pull up.
Pull up my
Don't sink.
checklist.
Don't sink. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Gear.
Alright, for the setup
low,
check,
flaps.
we have
Too low. Terrain.
the IRSs are aligned,
Glide
the
slope.
FMS is
Too low,
initialized,
terrain.
CBR
Caution.
is
Terrain.
tested, cargo temps
Caution,
are adjusted,
terrain.
engine ignition
Terrain.
is off,
Terrain. Pull
all
up.
systems are
Pull
in
up.
auto, hydraulic test is completed, nodes powered armed, fuel quantity test was tested, lights are set, cabin signs are on. Once we close the main cabin door, we can turn that. GPWS test is done. Flap limit auto, elevator fuel auto, cabin pressure system auto, anti-ice, can leave it off for now. Fuel used, reset, oxygen. Not simulated, but we can say it's tested. System pages we checked. Trims 3 set, not 3 set, but these two are centered. And FMS is programmed. Setup check complete. We can go ahead and our VCL is 262. Let's look at some charts. I have the charts next to me on my iPad that I use for work, but I'll try to use this so you guys can follow along. Alright, runway heading for 25 right is 251. International speed. 251. And for the departure, we're going to be on the dots. Top altitude is, can't really see it, but 17,000. Alright, so we can set 17. Whoa, we're way past it. GSX is finishing up out there, just over halfway done. Alright, there we go. And the altimeter was 294. Alright, we can do the before start check. The altimeters are set. Speed, VCL 250, regimeters higher set. Altitude headings are set. APU is is on. Systems are all auto. Takeoff configuration.
Stabilizer.
System is tested. GPU is disconnected. Yeah, we're not on external power. We can remove that from the airplane. Dial of flap is, you can set that to 15. There we go. Auto brake can go to TO. Cabin signs, can go to flip that on. Doors and windows, they're still boarding, so we'll pause the checklist here, and I guess we'll finish we'll wait for GSX to finish outside. Let's see what they're up to. Let's go check out what they're doing. Alright, I guess we'll just stand out here, look at the airplane while they finish up. So, once they're done, we'll go back up to the cockpit and we'll finish up the checklist. Closing the door while the last pallet goes in. Talk about efficiency. Alright, it looks like GSX is just about finished outside. We can go ahead and prepare for push pack and departure. So we left off at cabin signs on. Doors and windows are all locked and secured. Ground equipment, they're removing that right now. Can turn the beacon on. Could use initial beat today. Auxiliary pump 1 on. And
Hello, Captain. We are ready for
APD
pushback.
is open. And we are ready for push. Just waiting on GSX. Halfway through the building, but I guess that's right.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted. Locking gear.
ready to go. Everything is. We'll remove the chocks here in a moment. Let's see. We'll wait until they're fully ready. So this is gonna be a nose right, tail left push. Oops. Yeah. Nose right. Wait, let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, nose right, tail left.
Release parking brakes, please.
Chocks removed. Parking brakes
Commencing push.
disengaged.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Alright, she said all engines clear, so we'll go ahead and spin up number 3. So there's N2 rotation. Looking for 15%. And then we can introduce fuel. There's fuel flow. Alright, sweet, yeah, we're going the right way. There's light off, EGT's rising. Oil pressure slowly rising, that's good. Oh, this guy's pushing too. Alright, he's AI, they go quick, he should be on my way shortly. Wait for engine 3 to stabilize. Alright, that's good. 1 can come on. There's an N2 rotation. Oh yeah, there he goes. There's 15% fuel flow.
Please set parking brake. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking
Oil
gear.
pressure's on the rise, N2 still steadily rising, so are the EGT, so that's good. Waiting for a stabilized engine. Right. Last engine 2 can come on. There's N2 rotation.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
There's 15% N2. We can introduce some fuel. See the fuel flow rising. She should show us the bypass pin and give us a wave. That's what we're looking for. We should be good to go. There she is. N2, EGT still rising. There's a pin. There's the wave. We're good to go. Waiting for number 2 to stabilize. And then we can do our after start check. Go ahead and cage the standby for now. While we wait for the engine to stabilize. Alright, it looks pretty stable. 15 arm the spoilers and the APU is coming off. Right? Yeah, it's coming off. Turn the bleed off. Let that come back on. And lights stay fine. The ice can stay like that. Trim, staff trim after check, anti-ice is off. Dark for now, that's fine. APU bleed is off. The APU will come off here shortly. Hydraulic one is off. All systems are auto. Spoilers arm, flaps set 15, trims 7.2 upset. Flight controls checked, backup ATI is checked. There's the APU. It's coming down now. Start check complete. You can go ahead and go on out of here. As for the taxi, kind of didn't do a brief, but we'll kind of talk about it here quickly. Alright, so I believe in LA, I haven't flown here in real life yet. I don't fly here with my airline, but I believe. So we're on this ramp here. We'll exit Alpha 2 onto Alpha, and then we'll cross 25 left on Foxtrot. Right turn Bravo, and we'll depart on 25 right from Bravo 1, which is right here. A lot of runway. And as for the departure, it's the dots 2. So text is so small. Climate heading at 251 at 640 feet. We can climb direct to Hipper at or below 3,000 feet. And then we can go to nope, it's 25 right, so it's Docker at or below 25 right, Weiler at or below 5, then Shave Peeve Holtz dots above 15, and then we're doing the Clee transition, so it'll be Edel, Homer, Clee. Alright, so let's go and do it. So party break released, and gotta move forward. There's this tug for me. This tug doing. Apply a little bit of breakaway thrust. Don't need anything too crazy. Not that heavy. I think our load's about 50%. Alright, I'm going to this tug's doing. We're just gonna ignore it. Pretend like it's not there. There's only. You can only be so realistic with flight sim. So. Alright, we're exiting the ramp. Alpha 2. I'm gonna. Should I turn AI traffic off? I'll leave it. I'll leave it on for now. If they get in the way, I'll reset the AI traffic. But I'll leave it on for now. Right here you can see we're exiting the ramp on Alpha 2. We're going to take a right turn on Alpha, and then a left on Foxtrot to cross both runways. Clear left, we'll cut this guy off. We'll pretend like we have a right. Alright, right turn onto Alpha. I'm looking for a left turn Foxtrot. Got you. Alright, I don't see anybody on final. We'll pretend like air traffic control gave us the all clear to cross. Runway 25 left at Foxtrot, so that's verified here. Since we have clearance to cross and we're about to cross, all lights can come on. I believe at Los Angeles, 25 left they use to land. I'm sure sometimes they take off, especially if you're approaching from the side of the airport, but We'll depart 25 right like they always do in LA. So, I don't see anybody. So we'll continue across 25 right, and then we'll take a right turn on Bravo to continue down for a 25 right departure, full length. We could definitely depart from here, but I'm just gonna go down here. I tracked one FedEx plane that was coming from Los Angeles to Memphis, and this is the taxi they did, so I'm just gonna replicate that. Alright, exiting the runway. Lights can come back on. Take a right turn on Bravo. Get arm, profile, and nav. Verify that on the PFD. And I don't see anybody on final, so we can go ahead and run a lineup check. EAD is green. Lights can come on. We'll just signal 3 for takeoff. Transponder TARA hacks on for this takeoff. FCP is set, profile arm, nav arm, and lineup check. Full takeoff check is complete. 25 right Bravo 1 is verified. So we're in the right place. The runway, N1 to about 70%, then stabilize. Auto flight, auto thrust has taken over, that's why it's square around it has gone away. Airspeed is live. Takeoff thrust set. Those are 240, so they're about straight down the runways. This way. Disarm, speed brakes, reduce the lights, and wait for flapper traction speed. 0, leaving the slats out to slat retraction speed. Alright, everything's doing good. There's slat retraction speed. And you can run an after takeoff check. After takeoff check packs are on. It was a pack on takeoff. Off brake is just double check is off. Flaps and slats are retracted. Verify. Gear is up. Spoilers disarmed. Flap 15. Taxi lights. Turn-offs are off. Take a check complete. Cool. Final cruising altitude was 310. Alright. We can just say, oh, you can say that your traffic control gives the still. Dash. Alright, now 310.
Stabilizer
Min
motion.
clean speed is what it's maintaining. That's why it's above 250, which is fine for heavier aircraft. Alright, we are about to pass Peeve. Peeve is 4 miles in front of us. Which is, so we're right about to cross this fix. We'll make a left-hand turn, and we'll eventually turn eastbound towards campus. And I'm actually, once we're at this point, we'll cross 10,000 feet. At that point, the airplane will speed up to 310 knots, it'll pitch down, and it'll pitch for 310. So you'll see that happen in a couple seconds. There it is. It's going to speed itself up. Climb. There it is. It's climbing better now. It's at 310. It's pitching up. Really, only thing left to do is once we pass through 18,000 feet,
Stabilizer
we'll
motion.
set standard barometric pressure. We'll turn one of the lights off, so all the landing lights will come on at that point. And that's pretty much it. Really, the only thing to do in cruise is just monitor the flight path of the aircraft, monitor the systems, but most importantly, you want to monitor the fuel consumption. So you wouldn't really do this early on in the flight, but this is just an example. So we have Holtz in front of us. So you can find Holtz on our dispatch release, which is right here. And you can see our estimated fuel on board is 82,500 pounds of Holtz, which we're just crossing right now. So if you bring up the fuel page, you can see we have 83,000 pounds. And we were planned to have at least 82.5. So we're doing good on fuel. So, you know, every company is different. I'm sure if you're flying a 15-hour flight versus a regional airline flight, that they probably have different rules on how often you have to check fuel. But for the airline I fly for in real life, we only have to check at least once in the flight. pretty much check it all the time against our police to make sure that the airplane is, there's no fuel leak, or maybe there's a headwind stronger than what we planned for. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to do. We'll cross transition altitude, and then I'll end the recording here, and then I'll pick it up before top of descent.
Stabilizer motion.
But for now, yeah, that's really all there is to do. You can get right to this from there. It's back. Alright, we're approaching 18,000 feet, which is our transition altitude, so we're going to transition to the flight levels. So we can turn the rest of the line units on. That's good for now. And through 18,000 feet, it said standing bearing pressure 292. And that's it. That's really all I have until the top of descent, so I'll end the recording here, and I will see you guys at the top of descent. See, here we're about a couple minutes away from top of descent, which is this little arrow here on our display. So we can start getting the airplane ready for the descent. I have the ATIS tuned here. It's 12775. We're still too far to hear it, so it's active. Once we're at range, we just start running. I'm gonna wait to run performance numbers until I get the weather, but we can start working on a few other things. We can brief the arrival. So all right, we're about to cross Igloo, which is right here. Which is here in the box. Next, we have sauce at, can't read that. Okay, 290 knots. And below 260. And then after that, we have, I'll just call that barbecue, 280 below 230 in the box. And we are landing south, so we can expect this fix here, which is JAMLA 230 at 10,000 feet. 230 at 10,000 feet. And then it says expect the vectors to follow approach course after JAMLA. So the rest doesn't apply to us. If we were landing north, we would fly the rest of this route. It's going to be a Mach number until transitioning to 290 knots. So we'll do that. We'll just leave it to right now. So yeah. After that, we are doing the ILS 18 right approach. Here it is, 109.9, 180 on the long march course. So we're gonna go nav. It was 109.9 and 180 on the long march course. Elvis at 2,000 feet. have it loaded in from Dawson. So this continuity is fine. So we have Dawson, McBee, Braille, Elvis, and Roman. So that checks out. There he goes. Alright. There he goes. We'll catch up. Let's see. 17,000 is the bottom. DA is, and these charts are so small, 495. So we'll set that here. There we go, 495 minimums are set. And it wants us to add, drag, so it's aiming for 290 and then set, you can see that little dot here. Alright. Still no weather information. I need to figure out how to use the card. So we can get the weather figured out. I don't have it set up. So alright. Alright, I'll just cheat a little bit, I guess, and I'll just hit get weather. It's a 1-8 right wind. It's dry down there. I have the live weather here on my iPad. So winds are 2006, temperature 29 Celsius, altimeter 3001. That's what it says here on my iPad. That's what the game says because I'm using live weather, so that checks out. Landing weight today is. Alright, what happened? Why is it not letting me change my camera? Alright, there we go. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, landing weight today is. What is that? 469.9. 469.00. We'll do auto brakes low. No reversers. Flaps 35. I'll still use reversers. I just plan not to use them. I'll only incorporate them in the numbers if I need them. If I absolutely need them to make the. But alright, we need 4,000. We'll just round up 4,900 feet. And let's go ahead and look at a taxi chart. Runway 18 right is 9,300 feet long. 9,320. Just call it 9,300. As for the taxi plan, we're parking over here. Plan to exit, let's see, either Mike 4 or Mike 3, most likely going to be Mike 3, and then we'll pass Mike and turn onto November, right onto Papa, across both of these runways, and actually, you know what, it'll probably make more sense. You know what, we'll just exit Mike 3. To avoid crossing two runways, we'll just taxi northbound on November and cross 9 at November and then right onto Victor and then into parking. I think that'll be a better taxi route for us. So we're briefed. We have the numbers. So it's a flaps 35 landing. Ref is 160, which makes approach 165. Minimum clean speed, higher than usual, is 220. So we'll let some slack. Yeah, so we'll put flight plan back on this page. Keep the approach information speed on this page. That's pretty much it. Let's go into plan mode and see what the plan here. Let's see. It wants me to add drag. So, yeah, I guess after this point I'll kind of vector myself. I'll probably just go maybe exactly eastbound, maybe like a 100 heading, head between Dawson and McBeat, and then intercept the localizer there. Call it a video. Alright, descending through 14,000 feet, crossing barbecue. 280 below 230. Alright, next fix is Jamla, so we have to be at 10,000 feet at 230 knots. You can see the airplane's already aiming for 230. It's probably going to start. Yep, there it is. It's for drag. We descended through 18,000 feet quite a while ago, so we can set the altimeter, which, according to the digital ATIS here on my iPad, is 3001. And then we can throw some lights out. I'll just throw everything out. There's the Alright, you got 8 miles to slow all the way about 40 more knots. So we'll see if we can do it. You can see the boards open on the wing.
Altitude.
Alright, looks like we just about made, we have about just under 5 miles until we get to Jamla, and at Jamla we need to be at exactly 10,000 feet, 230 knots, so it looks like we made the airspeed and altitude restriction. Let's go ahead and run a descent checklist. Pull that out on my phone. I have my checklists on my phone. And we'll just pretend like air traffic control just gave us a 100 heading. And let's see. And we can stay at this altitude for now. Alright, descent check, landing data is set, ice protection is fine for now, systems are all in auto, cabin signs, turn back on, lights are set, altimeters are set, minimums set, auto brake is, there's double check, there we go. I'll do medium, I know I planned for men, but I'll do medium, it's usually what I like to do with this airplane. The descent check is complete. So let's say, we can call it the approach plate now. It's a, what is it, a 1-8 right landing? Yep. Alright. Let's say air traffic control now gave us a descent to 5,000 feet. So 0. And yeah, 5,000 is good for now. Alright, below 10,000 feet, we can do an approach check, flight and nav instruments. Yeah, that's fine. We'll clean up the box a little bit actually. Since we're in heading mode, we'll just go direct. Just clean it up a little bit. Alright, that's fine. Alright, flight and nav instruments. 109.9, 180 on the font approach course. 109.9, 180. Our verified. Cabin signs are set. Altimeters 3001 are set and checked. Or check complete. Well, let's start slowing down here shortly. Alright, we'll say air traffic control has now cleared us to 3,000 feet. So we'll set 3,000 here. And we'll go ahead and we'll keep the speed up until we're approaching the localizer and then we'll slow down to about 2 knots at that point. Double checking everything up here. Is the double one? Nope, double one. Let's just run down some lines. Can arrest the anymore, and now we're right next to it. I'm pretty sure that's. No, that's it. I don't know what's hard to say, especially this. We're in heading mode. We'll once we get much closer, we'll maybe like 2.5 miles away. We'll give ourselves vectors onto the localizer. Go from there.
Altitude.
Alright. Air traffic control give us a 150. That's roughly 30 degrees at front approach course. We'll activate it here shortly. Go ahead and slow to 220 knots at this point. Out of thrust. Or out of throttle, I should say. And power back to slow down. And activate this vector. Turn right 150, cleared for the ILS 18 right, maintain 3,000 feet until established. cool. We'll put slats out. Arm the speed brakes. Arm the approach. And things are looking hunky-dory now. Here's the localizer. We'll actually slow down to 10. Alright, the aircraft has captured the localizer. Glide slope's way up here. So we'll start down once that glide slope comes down. Alright, there's the glide slope. Glide slope is alive. You can see 1-8 right just in front of us. We're parking somewhere right here in the field. So it's a bit of a long taxi, but that's what it is. Glide slope captured. Missed approach altitude is 5,000. We can set that in the window.
2,500.
Final approach speed is 165. Start slowing to that speed now. Flaps 15. Coming in a little bit hot, but that's fine. Drop the gear shift and slow down.
Stabilizer motion.
We need to be fully configured by 1,000. Flaps 28. Flaps 35. Landing check. Landing gear down. 4 green spoilers. Armed. Auto brakes are set. Flap set 35. Altimeter set. EAD is green. And there it is. It's green now. Landing check is complete.
Stabilizer motion.
I think that speed is pretty low, so it's targeting our. Alright, we are configured to land. We are cleared to land. All we gotta do is lick in. Let's try to make it pretty soon.
1,000.
There's 1,000 feet, so
Stabilizer
this approach is
motion.
set, clear to land. The winds are right. Alright, let's disconnect the autopilot here.
Stabilizer motion. Autopilot.
Alright, my aircraft disarm the auto brakes. Taxiway Mike 3 should be right here. Nice. Nice approach, nice landing. Not too shabby. That click you just heard are the speed brakes disarming themselves and retracting. I gotta slow down a little bit. Nice, not too shabby. That was a lot of fun. I don't think this vertical speed is quite accurate. That was, no way that was 60 feet per minute. I don't think it's that accurate, but I don't know, it's nice to have a landing rate. Nice. Alright, once we get established here on this taxiway, we'll do an after landing flow. We'll retract the flaps, speed, auto brake off, landing lights off, turn offs on, strobes off, and weather radar is already off, transponders stand by. Whoa, what are you doing? And APU, we can fire it up. And I hate having to do flows and checklists while taxiing. It's kind of hard, but alright, we're gonna go straight on November until we get to the runway and then cross it. Long straightaway, so it's okay if we go a little bit fast, but not this fast. Slow down a little bit. Alright, we'll run an after landing check. Spoilers are closed and disarmed. Flap slats are up. Weather and transponder are off. Transponder standby. Auto brake is off. Trims. We'll go ahead and set that to 3 units. I think, are we going downhill or something? I guess we have a tailwind, which would make sense. Alright, there's 3 units on the trim. Exterior lights, taxi, turn-offs are off. Windows on, strobes off are set. Ice is off, APU is online, and engine 2 requires a 2-minute cooldown, 3-minute cooldown, and then we can turn it off. Why are we speeding up? Oh, there we go. I was in that idle somewhere. There we go. It's been about 2 to 3 minutes. We can shut the center engine. That tail mounted engine off. Alright. Let's show y'all where I'm going. So we're on November, and we're passing Mike 7 right now. So we're right here. And we're going this way, we're going to cross runway 9er, turn right onto Victor, all the way down past Yankee, onto this ramp, and that's where we're parking. So that is the plan. Let's take a shot. this is add-on scenery. I just bought it in the marketplace. I don't know who made it, but it's decent. It's pretty good. I like it. I'm not too picky when it comes to my scenery or stuff like that. So, the Los Angeles scenery in the beginning of the video, that was just the default scenery. I picked Los Angeles because it is one of Microsoft's what they call handcrafted airports. So I knew the scenery there would be just a little bit better than other airports that aren't either add-ons or not handcrafted. So it's kind of why I picked this route. Alright, we're on taxiway November. We are approaching the approach end of runway 9 here. Now we'll just pretend like ABC has given us the okay to cross. It's clear right, clear left. We're crossing a runway, all lights come on. Runway 9 at November is verified, so you're in the right place. Crossing the right runway at the right intersection. And then we'll make an immediate right turn onto Victor. And then all the way down, parking on this ramp. Or you know what? Let's just park. We'll park over here just to save some time. I mean, this is all the FedEx ramp anyway. We'll park here just to save some time. Alright, clearing the runway. Landing lights off, just taxi lights, turn-offs off, strobes off. They don't call it strobes, they call it high intensity, which is, I guess that's a McDonnell Douglas thing, I'm not sure. Thank goodness for taxiway center on residential lights, because I can't see anything. Yeah, we'll park in this ramp here. Taxing all the way down there. This is all the FedEx ramp anyway, so save some time. It's already been a long enough taxi. AP's online, right? Alright, good. Good. Taking this turn a little bit fast. Alright, which spot shall we take? Let's just take the next right turn. Take this spot right here. What is this? Parking 740, spot 740. Get GSX to unload us. Ooh, install out, come on. There we go. You can't come into these turns too fast, but if you go too slow, the airplane will stop mid-turn, so it's kind of a balancing act. Alright. We'll go to the exterior mode and cheat a little bit. So we know when to stop. Right on center line, at least I got that part. You probably don't want to blind the ground crew. In real life, you will turn your taxi outside, or off, I should say. Yeah, let's go do that. Alright. Parking brake set. APU is online. All systems auto. And fuel shut off. Cut off switches. Seatbelt sign. Beacon off. Any ice off. And emergency lights off. Emergency power off. IRS is off. And we can go ahead and run a shutdown check. Shutdown check. I guess we can start
Deboarding requested.
Shutdown check. Parking brake set. All systems auto. APU is on. Fuel selectors are off. Cabin signs off. Beacon off. Any ice off. Ignitions are off. Lights are as required. And this is the proper configuration. Emergency power off. Emergency lights off. RS is off. Shutdown check complete. Alright. That concludes. Oh, hey there, lag. That concludes. I got out of the airplane before the stairs were hooked up, but that concludes Los Angeles to Memphis in the TDFi MD-11 There's a mess out here. What are you doing, guys? What are you doing? But yeah, another great flight. We'll try to get a good view of man, what is going on? Of the airplane here. Oh, ran into a baggage loader.
Crew deboarding starting.
No. They can stay on. This baggage loader's in the way of my shot. That's okay. That's my phone going off. My back door's open, but that's fine. Who cares? You know what? Let's just stand over here, I guess. Alright, another great flight, Los Angeles to Houston in the TDFi MD-11. Really not much to say, so I guess I will leave you guys with this view of GSX unloading the aircraft. See y'all in the next video. Peace. Hey everyone.